One of my personal favorite videos from what I've done on this channel is the WEYLAND-YUTANI corporate timeline video, which shows all the innovations from Peter Weyland and how enormous the company grew over the years. When I first uploaded it, and still to this day actually, I would get comments here and there to the effect of, realistically, how could one company own so much? Well, who's laughing now? Walt Disney Pictures now owns 20th Century Fox, among many other properties, and in the years to come they're sure to own the house you live in, the car you drive, and the air you breathe. Hail Disney. This acquisition was a long time coming, at least when it came to the comic book properties that Fox owned, and no doubt there are a lot of Marvel fans out there that are going to be thrilled that finally heroes such as the Fantastic Four and the X-Men will be integrated into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So it should be great from that area. I saw Spider-Man Homecoming recently, and I have to admit that they swiftly did a better job with the Spider-Man character than Sony Pictures was able to do in over a decade. So from a Marvel standpoint, of course this deal is good news, and of course it just plain makes sense to me. But the surprising thing is how much Disney ended up acquiring from Fox. With their $52 billion deal, Disney will also be getting the rights to other popular franchises like Planet of the Apes, Avatar, and yes, the Alien and Predator series. So what does this mean for all things Alien? The knee-jerk concern is obviously going to be that now being produced by Disney, the Alien films are going to be watered down. I won't say you shouldn't worry about that happening, but I will say it's unlikely. I doubt we're going to be seeing singing and dancing animated xenomorphs hanging out with Snow White in the Enchanted Forest anytime soon. And it's likely they'll have enough sense of the brand to keep it recognizable to the fans. For a film series with the most recognizable and iconic scenes includes a snarling monster bursting out of a man's chest in a horrific and bloody display, I think they'll be smart enough to keep it rated R. So that means we're not going to be seeing the Disney Kingdom logo slapped in front of the next Alien film. And they'll probably release it through an existing subsidiary studio like Touchstone Pictures, or if, say, Fox Searchlight, which has produced smaller, more independent movies and films with a little more prestige, like 12 Years a Slave and Birdman. If that remains intact, then maybe the Alien films would simply be distributed through that route. Or you never know, they may even work out a deal to aggrandize Scott-free productions in some way. Ridley Scott's studio, which of course produced Prometheus and Alien Covenant, and released through 20th Century Fox. So if Scott Free gains distribution rights through Disney instead of 20th Century Fox, then the Alien series will maintain its brand recognition, and likely maintain its R-rated roots, and Disney and Ridley Scott's, they can all have parties on their yachts as the big bucks come in. I'm no expert on interstudio politics, but I'd say this is a somewhat viable move. The bottom line is, though, that I don't think we'll be getting castrated PG-13 Alien films as a result of this deal. And in the years to come, if it starts to look that way, then I think we, as fans, should make our voices heard. The custodians of the Alien franchise have a duty to uphold the legacy of the series, and if they falter in doing so, we, as the audience, the ones paying for our tickets and for all the merchandise, need to let them know that we don't want kids' films. We want scary, thrilling sci-fi horror. We all hold the franchise dear, and it deserves respect from the creative minds behind the movies themselves and the business minds behind their distribution. So I hope that's all already implicit with this deal. The other big concern, though, I'm sure, is the direction of the series from where it currently stands. With that, your guess is probably as good as mine. The direction of the Alien series has always been a little unsure. You might remember hearing news and interviews with Ridley Scott before Alien Covenant's release that he had several other Alien movies planned, and there was a whole giant timeline mapped out that would be explored. Then Covenant was released, and it underperformed, and those plans kind of fizzled. There was a brief point where the series was completely on hold, and Fox was reevaluating the franchise. Then the last we've heard, as far as I understand, is that at the very least, there would be only one more Alien film from Ridley Scott, and his plans were to focus on David more, and leave the xenomorph out of the equation for the most part. Who knows if it will continue that way now? For all we know, Disney could give Ridley Scott carte blanche and say, hey, do as many Alien movies as you want, make them however you want. We have the money to spare, and we're busy with Marvel movies and Star Wars movies, so you're in charge of Alien. Have fun. I could see that happening, but I could also see a completely different conversation going as well. Disney could also say, thank you very much for your contributions to this wonderful franchise, Ridley. We respect and admire your work, but we have decided to take Alien in a different direction. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Literally anything could happen from this deal. These are uncertain times. Part of me definitely is worried, but another part of me is actually very excited. If Alien had to be under the control of any movie studio on Earth, isn't it a good thing that it just happens to be the movie studio with all the money in the world? I would love to see Alien on the same level as Star Wars or the Marvel movies in terms of frequency when it comes to releases. An Alien movie every year or two would be heaven to me. A Netflix Alien series would be a dream come true. Now that Disney owns the franchise, these actually seem like very real possibilities instead of just wishful thinking. Ultimately, I'd say I am positive about the deal. I'm hopeful, but we as fans need to keep our eyes open and our ears to the ground. And if it starts to look like the series is in trouble, we'll have to be as vocal as possible about it. For now, though, I think it has more possibilities than hindrances. That's exciting to me, and this could be the start of a fruitful new era of the Alien franchise. Here's hoping, at least. In the meantime, let's stay frosty and alert. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like, and you can also subscribe for all the latest videos from the channel. A very, very special thanks goes out to YUTANI executive EmYarUk, part of the Patreon Hive. If you'd like to join the Hive and support the channel, check out my Patreon page for exclusive posts and contests. In the meantime, you can catch up with Alien Theory over social media. You can follow @alien_theory on Twitter, and @AlienTheoryYT on Facebook and Instagram for more. And until next time, this is Alien Theory, signing off.